volume should be a little bit higher. So we should be a little bit better now. So let me get the volume here. So it should be a little better now on YouTube. So let's talk about that, right? So if you're in New York, text the word NYC to 89603. We have a live, we're going to talk about Chat GPT. We're going to have a live Chat GPT class. We're going to have some experts come in and talk about real estate, talk about stocks, the future of these things. Then we're going to have a live strategy Sunday after that. So it's going to be and we're going to have free mimosas and also a free brunch. It's in Manhattan. So text the word NYC. And we also got virtual. So if you're not going to be in New York, you get the virtual pass. So let's move on, right? So we, you see it at the bottom right-hand corner. So we got like 600 people on Instagram. We got about 400 or 500 people on YouTube. So let's talk a little bit about this Bitcoin halving, because a lot of people have come to me concerned that Bitcoin's crashing, right? So I just wanted to talk a little bit about that, because a lot of people are very concerned about that. Bitcoin's down to like 26,000 right now. A lot of people have Bitcoin, and we're getting a lot of 26,800. A lot of people are worried that it could crash, right? I'm just here to tell you that it's during this next year, we got an event on the horizon, the Bitcoin halving in April of 2024. You have to text the word NYC to 89603, or you got to DM me the word. You could DM me the word NYC. I'll give you the link, or you can click the link in my bio. That's what you can do. You can't just put it here. I'm not going to see it. So you have to DM me the word NYC. So back to what I was saying is that Bitcoin, the next time Bitcoin is going to go up substantially is going to be April of 2024. That's when the Bitcoin halving is. And every 4 years, Bitcoin has an event that cuts the supply of Bitcoins that come to market or come to being through the mining process. So whenever that happens, every single time Bitcoin has went up 3, 4, 5, 10 times, every single time. And the April of 24 is the next time. And there's other things on the horizon that's going to cause the price of Bitcoin to explode here. And a lot of people are listening right now and they're rolling their eyes. Oh, it ain't going to happen. I don't know. Maybe he's crazy or whatever. But I promise you, by the end of 24, you'll be back on my page. And you'll be saying, man, I should have listened to this dude. I promise you. I'm willing to bet everything I have on that. Right? And I have. And a lot of people, like what happened in 2020, if you guys been following me that long ago, when Bitcoin hit 3,000 in the pandemic, everybody said I was crazy. Bitcoin ain't going to no 60,000. I thought it was going to go to 100. I'm not going to lie, but it went to 69. It ain't going that far. Bitcoin's done. It's going to crash. It's going to zero. And then it ended up going to 70,000. I used to have, when it happened, and that's the sad thing about people, is that once it already happened, I had 4,000 people on my lives. 4,000 maybe about 6 weeks until it crashed and they all left again. And that's the problem that we have as society, as people, especially poor people, is that we live on our emotions so much that's what happens. We come in at the wrong times, we leave at the wrong times, right? And then I'm telling you, in 24, 25, it's going to be the same thing. 4,000 people on here asking for answers. What's Bitcoin's already at 500,000? It's too late. You missed the train. You missed the plane. You missed the train. And then that's the thing. That's why you end up poor, is because you don't see things coming. You wait until it's already coming and you jump on it. It's too late. You're going to lose your money at the wrong time. So like I said, Bitcoin, 4-year process that curves the supply of new coins. So Bitcoin has hit a record within a year and a half of every single halving that's ever happened, right? So like I said, is that one thing that's on the horizon that could also cause Bitcoin to go up substantially is one simple thing. If you understand how stock splits work, what a stock split is that once a stock price gets too high, it's a psychological thing. Let's say when Tesla hit like 1,600, remember that back in 2021, I forget which year, a lot of people had a psychological block. Now, you can buy a share, you can buy fractions of shares, but it don't matter if you can buy fractions of shares. People see 1,600 on the screen, they feel like I can't afford that, and they don't buy it. So when a company splits its stock, it's the same value. It's like taking a pizza. I don't know if you remember in elementary school, they used to get the pizza. They like 10 slices on that pizza. They cut it in half so all the students can get half a slice. But in the student's mind, they still got a slice of pizza. But the teacher really cut it in half, But psychologically, all the students will feel like, I got a slice of pizza, but it's not a slice. It's half a slice, but it looks like a slice. It's shaped like a slice. So I think it's a slice of pizza, right? So that's what they do in stock splits. They take that $1,600 Tesla stock, they split it in 5 parts. It's still the same thing, but now people feel like I can get a whole share for $200, $300, $100, $200. So I'm more likely to buy it. So one of the things that's going to happen with Bitcoin, I'm telling you right now on the horizon, it's going to happen. I promise you it's going to happen, is that they're going to start denominating Bitcoin as Satoshis. And what that means is that, remember, Bitcoin is one, and Bitcoin is $30,000. I'm telling you, a lot of you people listening, a lot of you people listen to this live right now, you know that you've heard, a lot of people you understand, you've been following for a while, you understand Bitcoin, you understand crypto, but there's a big segment of the population that don't get it. And there's nothing wrong with that. They don't have experience, right? They don't have exposure. But they say, look, Bitcoin's $30,000. I can't afford that. And then you'll try to explain, well, you could buy pieces of Bitcoin. It don't matter. Those people have a psychological block. They're not going to get 30,000. That's out of most people's mind. So what's coming on the horizon? I'm telling you, it's going to happen guaranteed. Like I told you that Amazon was going to split, even though they claimed they would never split. I'm telling you that Nvidia next week is going to beat its earnings. A lot of people saying it won't, but I'm told you that Tesla would beat its earnings. I'm telling you, on the horizon, Bitcoin's going to be denominated in Satoshis, right? And what that means is that, think about Bitcoin as a dollar, right? A dollar can be broken up into pennies, right? That's what's going to happen. Bitcoin is going to be broken up into the smallest denomination called Satoshis. There's 100 million Satoshis in every Bitcoin. So when they break those down, every one is going to be worth like a few cents, or maybe 1 cent or whatever, 2 cents. So that psychological reason is going to call an entire group of people to rush into the market, and it's going to cause the price. Because eventually Bitcoin is going to get so expensive that you can't talk about it in Bitcoins no more. Let's say Bitcoin reaches $1 million. You can't talk about it in that no more. So at that point, 1 Satoshi is going to be worth 1 cent. So now you got to denominate in Satoshis. You can't denominate it in dollar in what you call it no more. So that's going to cause the price to skyrocket all of a sudden. And then people are going to be like, oh man, whatever. And then we're not going to think about Bitcoin in like in 1 Bitcoin no more. We're going to think about it in a smaller denomination. And that's what's going to cause the price to skyrocket sometime in 24, 25. So I'm saying it's on the right. This is an opportunity for a lot of people to make a lot of money, but a lot of people aren't listening because they'd rather spend their money on stuff that don't matter. They'd rather watch the NBA finals, which is nothing wrong with that because I'm going to watch it. But, but I'm just saying they'd rather spend all that time knowing every single stat of every player in the NBA, which is nothing wrong with that too, but you got to use your brain power for other stuff also. It's people that can tell you all kind of mathematical equations, the player efficiency rate, and all this stuff about players, and they can't tell you how to buy a stock, and they can't tell you how to get a mortgage, but they can tell you advanced analytics and statistics on the NBA, NFL, and maybe another league somewhere, baseball, right? So let's move on. No, there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with getting in. I love basketball. There's nothing wrong with that. It's just that you can't just give all of your brain power to that, and don't do nothing else. That's all I'm saying. So I want to talk about something that's very big on the horizon, right? Microsoft. And it's dangerous for one, and secondly, it could make a lot of money and change the world. It could be a combination of both, or it could be one or the other. So Microsoft has invested billions of dollars into fusion energy. Now, for those of you who don't know what fusion energy is, there's 2 types of energy that comes from atoms. I learned this in college. So I'm sure a lot of you guys learned in high school or college. There's fission and there's fusion. So the nuclear bomb that we dropped on Hiroshima, and I forgot the other city in Japan, it was a bomb that used fission. So what fission is that you got an atom, looks kind of like a solar system. You got a nucleus in there. You got, I think, electrons on the outside. So when you split the nucleus, it goes crazy, right? And then it just like explodes, right? All you got to do is split one. And then the little pieces go to the other atoms right next to it, hits the nucleus, causes that to split too, and it's a chain reaction. So all of that energy is released at once, right? And that's what causes the extreme energy in a nuclear bomb. That's what causes the extreme energy in nuclear power plants that cause us to have electricity. But that is an inefficient process, right? The sun don't use that process. The sun uses fusion. Instead of splitting the atoms, it combines the atoms. It causes a lot more energy, but it has to be superheated. So Microsoft is investing in companies that are producing fusion energy. Now, fusion energy is going to solve almost all of our energy problems. So Microsoft, if this goes through, is going to be a very valuable company going forward. Now, it's still experimental out there. It's still 10 years out. Now, the OpenAI is also invested into this. So there's a lot of companies invested in this, right? So I think that if they can pull this off, Microsoft's going to be a very valuable company in 5 to 10 years, because fusion has always been like elusive. We haven't been able to make that work, but hopefully with these investments, we can make that work. So let's go on. So from now on, I'm going to keep Strategy Sunday under 40 minutes. So I'm going to try to get through it a lot faster than I've been getting it through it. So I think it's grew so big now that it's like an hour. So I'm going to try to keep it to 35 minutes going forward. I think people's attention span is better. I wouldn't want to, I wouldn't want to watch something for 50, 60 minutes. So if I can get everything down to 45, I think it'd be better for everybody. So let's move on. AI stocks, right? And there's 2 AI stocks. I've talked about them a lot, and I just want to talk about them a little bit more. So Katie Woods is it runs a fund called ARK Investments. ARK Investments invests a lot of money in disruptive technologies, right? And she's actually got a very solid track record on picking companies that are on the horizon of doing something great and profiting off of that. So, like I said, is that she just bought up a bunch of 2 stocks over the last 2 weeks. And I'll tell you the 2 stocks, Tesla and Nvidia. And like I said, I believe Nvidia actually has earnings next week. So for us in the CNC, if you're not in the CNC, text the word CNC to 89603. Can somebody put that in Instagram so I can, or you can go to jointhecnc.com. Can somebody put that in Instagram so I can tag it? But in the CNC, we made a lot of money over the years. We actually made like 400% last week. If you're in the CNC, you've been making money, drop those money bags on Instagram or YouTube. Then we're going to talk about Katie Woods investments. Then we're going to talk about, and I always give you this chance. I say, join the CNC. We're adding tech classes this month. We got, we're adding tech classes this month. We got stock classes. We got crypto classes. We got a community. Like, for example, anybody in the CNC comes to New York for free, has free mimosas and free brunch. We do events like that in the Chestnut Checkers group. So with that being said, like I said, if you join the CNC, I always give people a challenge. I say, if you don't make your money back in the first month at least 3 times, I'll give you your money back and give you 3 months free of the CNC. And I've only got that request twice. So if you want to join the CNC, text the word, DM me the word CNC, click the link in my bio, or you can text the word CNC to 89603. So back to what I was saying, Kathy Woods, with ARK Investments. So Kathy Woods is a person who has a very good track record of picking disruptive technologies. And one of the things she did last week is she bought a bunch of Tesla and she bought a bunch of Nvidia. Now I want to talk a little bit about Nvidia, then we're going to talk about why she bought those 2 companies. So Nvidia has earnings, I believe, on the 24th, which is a week and a half from now. And a lot of people say, well, Nvidia is not, I'm telling you, like I told you that, remember back in January, I gave you a case, I guess, of why Tesla would beat the earnings. Everybody said, no, they would never beat earnings. Oh, no, it's not going to happen because of these reasons. And I gave you a case of why Tesla was going to beat earnings. End up exploding a lot past earnings. And then the stock went up tremendously. And we made a lot of money on options and also the stock in that when that happened, right? So I believe we're setting up for a play like that on Nvidia. Nvidia, a lot of people don't think that Nvidia is going to beat earnings, but I believe they are because of the AI movement. I think that Nvidia is going to drop a bomb on us on 24. I think they're going to not just meet expectations, not just a little bit past. I think they're going to be way past it. And I think that stock, like I said, is going to 350, maybe 360 right after. Right? So I believe that that's going to happen. So what we're going to do in the CNC, and remember, whenever earnings call comes up, there's a run up in the stock anyway. It almost always is and then right after, unless the stock far exceeds expectations, what I think it will, the stock's going to drop right after earnings. So we're going to do some option plays from Monday through whenever the earnings call is on NVIDIA, and we're going to make a lot of money because NVIDIA is going to run up. What is that, like 286? Where's NVIDIA at right now? 283. So it's 283. It's going to pass 300 in the next week, and it's going to maybe go to 310 or whatever. And then the earnings is going to drop, and we're going to, it's more, I think it's more likely for it to beat earnings and continue to go up. I think it's going to reach its 350 in, let's say, a month or maybe at most 6 weeks. And that's the target that I have on NVIDIA, 350. Remember, I can't give you financial advice. This is just what I'm thinking. So I think that NVIDIA is going to beat that. Now let's go talk a little bit about why Katie Woods is into NVIDIA and into Tesla. Now let's go with the Tesla first, because every time she buys a stock, puts it into her fund, she always explains why she did it, because it's a publicly traded fund and all this stuff. So one thing that was very interesting, a lot of people don't see Tesla as an AI company, but it's self-driving. It has sensors all over the car to know. And we've gotten so advanced with AI. We've gotten so spoiled with technology that we don't understand all the glorious miracles that happen all around us. All the technology that's all around us. That's nothing. We're so spoiled by technology. We don't understand all the wonders around us. We open our phones with facial recognition. We get in our car and our car senses where everything's at. I can tell us if we're about to hit something. We get on our computer. It gives us free knowledge we get on Siri. Siri talks right back to us. We get on Google Home. It talks right back. All of these things are artificial intelligence. But we don't see it like that because we're spoiled and we're used to it. But I'm going to go ahead and block this dude. Block. So, like I said, is that Tesla has sensors all around the car. It's self-driving. It has a lot of AI technology built into the device, right? So with that being said, is that Tesla also does something else better than any other car company in the world. And that's one thing that's going to make it $1,000, $1,200 stock. It does one thing better than any other company, right? And before we tell you what that one thing is, I want to talk about where the future is going with AI, just in general, right? There's three things that AI cannot do. Three things. And it can do anything else. It can do your job. Whatever job you got, AI can do it eventually, except for like human touch jobs, like, wherever it requires a human involved, like massage therapy. Now, people rather get it from a human than a robot. Doctor, people rather hear I got cancer from a human than a robot. See, all this stuff is going to linger for a few years. But AI can do almost any professional job, almost any job you could think of, but it can't do three things. One is it can't create land and real estate. So real estate developers, landlords, all this stuff, AI can't just make a house. They can make it in the metaverse, but you can't live in the metaverse. You see what I'm saying? You can't live in the metaverse. I don't care. You can live in it virtually, but you got to eat. You got to have a roof over your head. You got to be protected from the code. So real estate will always be valuable no matter how much AI takes over, right? Second is it can't get attention, human attention, right? There'll always be singers. There'll always be dancers. There'll always be people that talk about different things, personalities on TV, because people want a human. If I put J-Lo on the stage and it's a robot, ain't nobody gonna watch that because it's not. Once they find out it's a robot, nobody's gonna show up. They may go the first time because it's new technology, but ain't nobody gonna watch robotic J-Lo on the stage. You see what I'm saying? So those people, the attention, human attention will always be around. And third is data. So whoever controls these three things is going to control the future. Data is a huge, huge part. Now, AI needs data to function. So that's like the gas of AI. Whoever controls that data controls the future of the world. They control how the world works. They can control how AI even functions. And Tesla grabs an incredible amount of data every single, Tesla cars feed back to the database. So there's no other car company on earth that collects as much data, not personal data, but I'm talking road data, driving speed, all these things, road signs. No other company on earth collects as much data as Tesla. And that's one of the reasons it's going to be a very valuable company in the future. That's the reason why Tesla is going to be $1,000, $1,500 stock very, very soon. And I really believe in that. So the second thing is NVIDIA, right? Like we already talked about NVIDIA, I believe it's going to go past earnings. But like I said, like we've been talking about for years, right? Oh, not years, but like a year. I actually started talking about NVIDIA. I looked it up because somebody claimed that I didn't say NVIDIA was going to go up in January. So I was like, did I actually say that? I said, when did I actually start talking about NVIDIA? So I looked in my records because every time I do a Strategy Sunday, I have notes on things I talked about, whatever, and I keep a track record of those notes. So I'm like, when is the first time I talked about NVIDIA? So I looked it up. I've been talking about NVIDIA for years ago, but when did I first start talking about it in relation to AI? So I looked it up. It was August of 22. So that's when I first started saying NVIDIA was going to be an AI play in August of 22. So now I really got heavy on it in January, right? So I've been talking about this for like months, 7 months so far. And it was, at the time, I think it was like 160 or something. Then it dropped down and it came back up. So back to what I was saying. Yeah, I did talk about NVIDIA at the MLK thing. Yeah, I did. Remember that? In New York. That was in like February. When is MLK? That was in January? Yeah, what day is MLK Day? I forgot. That's why I talked about it in New York in front of like 100 people. Yeah, so I forgot. I did say that. And it was like 140. And I told everybody, hey man, buy NVIDIA. I mean, it's going to go up because of AI. I did. So back to what I was saying, I don't want to be long-winded here, is that AI is going to be one of the most important companies on earth because like I got to reiterate this. I know I talk about it a lot, but it's important, is that AI cannot function without chips. And like I said, my computer here in front of me only has 2 chips. It has a processor, CPU, has a graphic processing unit, only 2. An AI system or a robot needs a whole bunch of chips. Even a car needs like 20 chips. If you remember, back in 2021 with the pandemic, there was a chip shortage. And right now I got an Escalade, 2023 Escalade. It don't have self-driving and it don't have, it don't self-park, right? Even though if you look on the screen, it says press this button to self-park, it don't self-park, right? And at that time, when I was going to buy my car, the 22 Escalades cost more than the 23 Escalades. The 22 was like $130. Mine was $110. So an older car with some miles on it cost more because it had the chips and it could do all those things. So I ended up buying a 23 because I didn't want a used car, but and I paid $110 for it. But the ones that were like a year long, the same model, the same build out, but it had those chips in it. It was like $30,000, $40,000 more. So a car has like 20, 30 chips for everything it does. A robot can have 30 chips. So NVIDIA is on when the sensors on a car, that they have to have graphic processing units for that because that's like that's computer vision. So they more than likely have NVIDIA chips in a lot of cars or NVIDIA produced chips. So there's going to be a need for NVIDIA chips that we've never seen before coming on the horizon. And another play that's even lower than that is that the people who make and you can research this. I'm not going to say any stocks. I haven't researched it really, but I know there's a play, is that even the people who make the components of the chips are going to go up. The rare earth minerals, the different types of chemicals, the different types of metals, all that stuff that you have to make the chips, they're going to go up in the future. Now, I may do that next week and figure out which ones. I haven't really looked into that, to be honest, but I know that they're going to need those materials in order for those NVIDIA chips to work. And like I said, with that, all that on the horizon, NVIDIA has to go up. It has to. It's going to keep going. I gave it a target of 350, but it's going to be 500 to 1,000 in a couple of years. A lot of people got in that one when I started talking about it, 120, 130. So they're going to be up 10 times in like 2 years. So last thing I want to talk about is a stock that I've been talking about for a few months now, but it hasn't done much so far. I started talking about it at 136. It's like 140 something now. It's only up $10, which is pretty. It's like 8% up in like 4 weeks. So before we talk about this stock, which I still think is going to explode here soon, maybe 200, 250, is that AMD is also a good stock. That's what we talked about that last week. AMD and Intel is also going to go up because it's only 3 chip makers really on earth. It's more, but those are the big ones. Before we go farther on this last stock, we got 2 things. The CNC is going up to $97 next week. I know I've been saying it for a couple of weeks, but this time I'm serious because a lot of people write me and say I got to get paid or whatever. So I kept it $97 a month. Right now it's $67. If you pay and you get locked in, I'll never change the price for you ever. So with that being said, click the link in the bio, text the word CNC to 89603 at the bottom of the screen, or you can DM me the word CNC. Second thing is that if you're in New York, we got an event, and the CNC members come for free. And we also got virtual pass. So we're going to have a ChatGPT masterclass. We're going to talk all about ChatGPT. We're going to have a real estate people come and tell us about the future of real estate. We're going to have some stock people come tell us about the future of stock, including myself. And we're also going to have a live strategy Sunday. Free mimosas, free brunch for people who want to come. It's going to be about 3-4 hours on a rooftop. We're also going to have a rooftop brunch, which is going to be on the top of a roof in New York with great views. So if you're anywhere in New York, you want to fly to New York for that June 10th, we only got 100 spots. So once those are sold up, that's it. You have to DM me the word CNC. You can't put it here. You have to send me a message with the word CNC in it. So last thing I want to talk about is the stock that I've been talking about for about 4 weeks, but it hasn't done much so far. I think it's going to start showing more movement, upwards movement over the next month or so, and that's Duolingo, right? Duolingo is a language learning platform that's powered by AI. And it's doing a very good job at teaching people about languages, French, Spanish, different languages all around the world. The stock's been skyrocketing. It's beat earnings for the last 2 quarters, I believe. It's in high growth mode right now, which means that they're investing a lot in their growth. And one of the things I like about them is they've been very efficient at teaching people about languages and how to speak different languages. And they've actually been one of the leaders in that space. So what they plan to do in the future, this is the reason why I think it's going to explode, is they have a certain methodology that's powered by AI that teaches people how to learn languages. Well, they want to teach multiple curriculums, multiple subjects using this AI, this proprietary AI in this proprietary system, because they've been very good at teaching languages. They're going to apply it to math, science, reading, social studies, whatever they have to. And like I said, the future of education is AI. And if I was a teacher, I think teachers will last a little longer because of, they have unions and stuff like that. They'll fight back for about 25 years, 20 years. But eventually, teachers are going to be all replaced by AI because AI can more efficiently teach students than teachers. And it's also a lower cost. So eventually, with 20 years, teachers are going to, especially like elementary school teachers will stay because they need that socialization. But I think middle school and high school teachers will be all replaced. I think what's going to happen in the future as a student will go grades 1 through 5 with a real teacher. Once they get to middle school and high school, they'll be kind of switch over to like an AI teacher. And each individual student will have one AI teacher that's tailored towards them and can tailor it towards their learning style. So let's say, for example, you got a hands-on learning style. The AI will be for you, and it will remember what learning style is best for you, and gear you towards that. So every single person will have an AI that's tailored towards them, and it's going to be a lot better education system. So I think for grades 1 through 5, you're only at kindergarten, you can't have AI, so you always have a person in the room. I think middle school on, you'll have AI. So Duolingo is going to be in a position to make a lot of money on that. So with that being said, I'm going to give you guys about a few minutes to ask any questions. I'm going to let you guys go for the night. We got in at 38 minutes. So like I said, is that if you're in New York, DM the words NYC to 89603. And I think psychologists will stay for a little bit, Nancy, because there's still a human touch. I don't think people want to tell their problems to a robot yet. So they need a human because they want that human connection. Any job that requires a human connection is going to last a lot longer. Remember, I was a teacher. I was a college teacher for what, total of 3 years. And I just don't think that the AI course is going to be in New York. But it's also, we also got virtual tickets. So if you want to get a virtual ticket, it's also just text the word 89603, or you can click the link in my bio. You can DM me the word NYC and I'll send you a link. Armando, can you make the lawsuit go away? What lawsuit? I think you're talking about the SEC lawsuit. Yeah, I can't make it go away. I mean, I wish it would, but I think eventually it's going to go away. The XRP lawsuit. I thought you were talking about some lawsuit. I was like, I don't have no lawsuits that I know of. Because, the thing about it is that your lawsuit shows up on whatever. If somebody did a lawsuit against you, people know about it before you get it because they put it on the public site. Then you get served. So I was like, I hope it ain't no lawsuit out there. Name of the company for teaching languages is Duolingo. Yeah, you get the virtual ticket from the same link. You send, it's CNC, Eric. It's C as in candy, N as in Nancy, C as in candy. It's CNC, not CNC. CNC. Yeah, I'm going to drop my play on NVIDIA and the CNC in the morning, DN, after I see what the market's doing. You didn't talk about the debt ceiling and how it would affect NVIDIA. I don't think it will. I think the most it could do is affect all stocks. It's not going to uniquely affect Tesla and NVIDIA. It'll affect every stock. But I think it'll be a short decline and it'll pop back up. I don't think the debt ceiling, unless you got to remember, back since I was a kid, they've been talking about the debt ceiling. They never let it actually happen. That's just like some kind of bargaining tool to get you scared. That's all it is. It's been going on since I was a kid. I remember them talking about the debt ceiling. Oh, the debt ceiling, oh my God. And they always come up with a solution. So like I said, if you're on YouTube, I need you guys to hit that like button because right on YouTube right now, we got 503 people watching. But we only got 142 likes. So I need you guys to like. And if you haven't subscribed already, subscribe to the channel. When is 97 CNC last day? It's 67 now. So I'm going to change the price on Wednesday. So you got to get it before Wednesday. Do you have Forex classes on the CNC? I may add those even though I don't believe much in Forex. But it's not like I don't believe in it. Like I just think it's a lot of work. But I may add some, I'm not going to teach them, but I may add a Forex expert in the CNC because a lot of people ask me about that. The only reason I don't believe in the Forex is because I believe it takes too much time. And people are always going to come back on me and say, oh, well, they got bots that trade. Them bots don't work. You have to do it yourself because the bots are not going to work like you think. You have to do it yourself. You can't just run a bot and don't know what it's doing. You have to know what it's doing. So somebody said, I recently joined the CNC. How do I get my tickets? If you go into the Discord, we got a link for you to get your ticket for free. When do you think Bitcoin is going to rebound? I think Bitcoin's going to, that's what I was going to talk about earlier. They were telling me if Bitcoin was going to crash or whatever. Bitcoin's going to be kind of choppy until April of 24. That's what I always said. I think it's going to be spikes up and spikes down. And it's going to slowly go up, I believe, to 40, 50,000. And I think that's going to be, it's going to be slow, go up 5, go down 3, go up 7, go down 4. It's going to be like that. I think it's not going to be any major movements in Bitcoin to after April of 24. And that's the halving. It's been like this every single time. Remember, there's a 4-year cycle. This is my 1, 2, 3. This is my 4th cycle. And how do you get tickets? If you're in the CNC, go into the CNC and we'll post a link in there. Or you can DM me if you're in the CNC and I'll give you the link to get the free ticket. So with that being said, the AI course in chat is included in the CNC. So like I said, is that April 24th, the halving happens 6 months after Bitcoin is going to be at $200,000-$300,000. Now let's say, about 6 months after, about 150, I think. I think in this cycle it's going to go past 350. So you're going to have a 10 times return in about 18 months, maybe 24 months. So like I said, I'm going to give you guys 1 more minute to answer any questions. I'm going to let you guys go for the night. Remember, if you got 630 people on YouTube, I need you guys to hit that like button and hit the subscribe button if you haven't already done so. Yeah, Forex, somebody said Forex is the most economical way into the market. I don't have a problem. I don't like trading Forex. I'm not saying it's bad or you can't make money. And I just feel like it's too much time. I'm a person that believes in passive income. And in my book, The Strategic Millionaire, that's what I talk about in that. I even got a chapter called Be Lazy. Let me see where it's at. Chapter 7 is Be Lazy. And what that means is that you got to constantly think, how can I make money without doing any work? And that's the way. And the reason why, there's the chapter, Be Lazy. And the reason why I say that is because you only got, if you have to work for all your money, you only got 40 hours a week to do so. Now, if you think I'm not doing nothing that has to cause me to work, I will turn down. Let's say, for example, I can make $10,000 a month, but I got to work 10 hours a week extra, or I can make $5,000. I ain't got to do nothing. I'm taking the 5,000 every single time. If I can make 3,000 without doing nothing, or 10,000 with putting in 5 hours a week, I'd rather make the 3. And most people say, what? Why? Because it frees my time to do other stuff. And that's why. 3,000 passive income is worth more than 10,000 you got to work for. Yeah, Living in Maryland, the book is on Amazon. But that's what I was going to tell you is the book's on Amazon, and you can it's out on May 20th. So you'll get the version, or I'm sorry, the book on May 20th, like 3rd or something. It drops on May 20th. So if you buy the book, you pre-order it, you'll get it on the 23rd. It's going to be on Audible by the 23rd. Yeah, it'll be delivered on the 25th. So if you already bought the book and you really, really want it, I'll send you the electronic version. As long as you give me some feedback you send me a screenshot of you buying it, I'll send it to you. Armando, are we buying and holding in video or selling after earnings pump? Now, after the earnings, you have to be very careful with that. Is because the only way NVIDIA will continue to go up after earnings is that the only way it'll continue to go up after earnings is if it far exceeds expectations. And that's what I think it's going to do. But you still got to be careful because the next day it could drop. So it's not a risky play, but you just have to practice a little bit of risk management because we're not sure it's going to beat expectations. All right, so like I said, I'm going to let you guys go for the night. I appreciate you. And remember, if you're on YouTube, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. If you're on Instagram, I appreciate you. If you want to know what the CNC is, go to jointhecnc.com. That's I'll put it down here. Join the CNC.com. All one word. So go to jointhecnc.com and you can join. We drop 3, 4, 5 plays a day on the CNC. So that being said, I hope you guys have a great night. Thanks for joining. If you want to know more about the CNC, just DM me. Have a great rest of your night.